When Adam and Eve sinned, they died just like God told them they would. They were alienated from God, separated from His presence on that very day. Until this, they had walked with God in the garden, but now they had to struggle against a world that no longer cooperated with their tending. For Adam and Eve, this was a stark difference. They had once known the warmth of God's presence, the peace of a perfect world, now replaced by toil, fear, and separation. They had experienced the presence of God and knew what they had lost. This sets the stage for how future generations would relate to God, sacrifice, and sin. Beginning in the 4th chapter of Genesis, we are introduced to the next generation, who grew up only knowing the world as it had become. That world was a difficult and frightening place. While Adam and Eve would have told their children about the garden and the reasons for the world around them, it would not have taken long for the story to fade, and for people to forget that sin and disobedience were the reasons for their troubles. To solve the shame of their nakedness, God had created tunics of skins for Adam and Eve to wear. While there is no reference to sacrifice per se, the fact that they were given skins and not cloth is a strong indication that something had to die because of their sin. This marked the first recorded instance of death, an animal dying to cover human shame. Though sacrifice isn't explicitly mentioned, the imagery foreshadows a deeper spiritual truth. Likewise, when Cain and Abel are depicted making their offerings, we do not have the details of what instruction they were given. There is only reference to doing well, rather than any explicit connection with sin. Still, the theme of sacrifice begins to emerge. The rest of Genesis contains important pictures of sacrifice, in particular, Noah's thanksgiving offering and the story of Abraham and Isaac. But it is not until the giving of the law that a direct connection is made between sin and sacrifice. What was the purpose of sacrifice? The writer of Hebrews reminds us that these ancient sacrifices were never the solution, only shadows pointing forward to something greater. Hebrews 10 says that animal sacrifices are not effective at taking away sin. Rather, they are a reminder of it, lest we forget about sin and the reasons for the condition in which we find the world. Sacrifice will take on additional dimension as we come to the law of Moses and the particular requirements that it imposes.